This is a CBS News special report. I'm Katie Couric at CBS News election headquarters in New York. And we have breaking news.
There are a lot of evidence that show how humanity has progressed. A world where things like slavery and segregation was once a common thing has evolved and become a world where people strive for equality.
Guaranteed blacks the right to vote. 4 decades after the passage of the Civil Rights Act, voters have chosen our first African-American president.
Naive and innocent, I and many others thought that prejudice has already melted away due to the amount of diversity that we are able to see. But when we really take a good look around, is prejudice really gone?
These hordes of Asian people that UCLA, if you're going to come to UCLA, then use American manners.
My name's Karen Aganoy, and I have witnessed prejudice. During lifetime, there is this group of people, let's call them A, B, and C. A is a jock, B is a friend of the native, and C is the native. So A was jump roping, so B and C thought he was showing off, and so they started arguing. A said something offensive to natives and their intelligence, and B defended C, saying, just because he's native doesn't mean he's going to drop out.
I have experienced prejudice by being the new kid, coming from a bigger city than where I am now. Apparently, coming from a big city, you come in a bad way, like you're a bad kid, you do drugs, you sneak out, you lie, you steal, and I'm not like that.
People used to judge me a lot just for being different, and like a lot of people wouldn't talk to me, and some people just like didn't like me, or they called me out on being different. It was not cool. I don't exactly know any people directly, but I know like friends of friends and people like that I'm like mutual friends with who have like killed themselves just because they aren't accepted by people around them, and they judge them, and they like no one likes them, and they're outcasts, and just because of something about them, even though people don't really know them anyways.
Well, because of my diet, I'm vegan, meaning I don't eat any animal products or dairy. Sometimes people will treat me differently when they find out. Like one time, people had food and stuff, and somebody tried to force me to eat deer meat, and they would sort of like make fun of me. Like they think it's funny to like tease me, like say, oh, bacon or something, and sometimes it's sort of upsetting. So a lot of the times I try not to like say that I'm vegan because people can treat me differently.
So I was 10, this was 5th grade, and in San Diego. One of my friends asked me if I could speak Spanish or not, and he wanted to have a conversation. And there's this drunk guy that was in a truck, and he came out, and he had a bottle in his hand, he was drinking it, and he heard me speaking Spanish. And I forgot, he said something to me about me being Mexican. He came towards me like he was gonna hit me with the bottle. So then one of my friends were there. He was in high school, and he got in front of me and he pushed the guy back. When he pushed him, the guy pulled out a knife and looked like he was gonna like attack him. So one of the workers at 7-Eleven called the cops.
Remember who you are and don't let anyone bring you down.
To not let it happen, really. Just to, like, if someone tells you something about someone, you don't have to don't believe it. You have to meet the person, and also you gotta be yourself. If someone's judging you, just be yourself, and hopefully they'll realize that you're not a stereotype and you're just another person, and you can't let people tell you who to be.
Well, for me, I don't care what people say. I just make fun of it.
Usually I try to give them lots of facts and sort of make sure that they're educated about what they're talking about.
But because I realized that people are just ignorant. They're not trying to be racist, they're just ignorant, you know? What's sad is there are people who will go through this ignorance for the rest of their lives. It's our duty to educate people. You know, she talked.
I have not personally experienced prejudice, but I have witnessed it. And from what I've seen, the best way to respond to someone saying prejudiced things is by educating them. Once, in one of my classes, one guy suddenly blurted out, "Why do people just assume that I'm a stoner? Is it because of how I look?" And he went on to clarify that he wasn't. This gave people the knowledge that he wasn't a stoner, and so nobody in our class could assume it anymore. Prejudice starts with stereotyping, and the best way to avoid misconceptions like these are by sharing the facts.